Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply, and this video is to bring you a closer look at the Adams Rite number 4568. This is an example of the 4568 series of Euro-style dead latch handles. Here's what an example of this looks like. Available in different finishes, different orientations. This is what the 4568 looks like. This specifically is a 4568 and a 313 finish. Let's take some dimensional properties of this item right now. Overall height of the back plate, about 4 3/8. Center to center on the screw holes we can kind of study there. Looks like we're about 11/16 down to about 3 3/4, I would say. Width of the faceplate, about 1 5/16 inches. Overall length, looks like it's about 5 inch. Projection from the face of the door, let's start with the clearance. Looks like it's about 1 3/4-ish, 1 7/8. Overall projection appears to get out to about 2 3/8. Okay. This is going to include the cam plug. The cam plug is important because that is what permits, this is like the transmission that makes the energy translate into movement, so to speak. Meaning that when the cam plug is installed, bear with me. I had it backwards. This is set up for a left hand. When this is a left-hand door. I'm on the interior. My door swings like this. Okay. You're on the outside, although it's symmetrically opposite. When you're on the exterior, the hinges are on the left. The door swings in. This is on the opposite side. When I want to leave, I'm going to rotate this lever, and this cam or tailpiece will retract the latch so that I can then exit. So the cam plug is basically the transmission, I suppose. A couple of screws to get it mounted down to the face of the door. It's going to come with installation instructions, and let's study the description down below this video first to see what we're dealing with. Steel-mounted base, that's a pass, that's not steel. Steel-mounted base secured by hidden screws and has 2 large helical compression springs. 1/4-inch square heat-treated spindle as part of the discussion assembly. They're referring to what's in here. That steel screw. Okay. What didn't I give you? The height of the handle, about 7/8. Designed to operate with 4500, 4700, 4900 series dead latches with a downward hand movement. Activator cam disc is incorporated. You need a cam disc will occur in other instances in the Adams Rite line when it comes to their handles and their push paddles, push-pull paddles. Cam plugs secured in latch body by cylinder set screw, tied to handle escutcheon by hardened steel pins. So the bottom line is, hardened steel pins are going to fit into those 2 little holes that are there that I seated the item into before I operated it. This will be held in with that set screw that you would use to hold in a standard mortise cylinder or a mortise thumb turn. That's how the cam plug is held in. Levers, cast aluminum, generous hand grip with shank offset away from narrow style jamb for hand safety. Offset. Not straight out, it's going to be offset. Why would you want that? Well, because generally what happens is, if that wasn't offset, my fist would be a lot closer to here. That's got a certain projection on it. aluminum storefront material is notoriously very narrow style dimensions. So you could rotate that and then just bruise your hand up against the jamb every time. So they probably found out the hard way that making that offset is the way that this really has to be for proper safe operation. Okay. This cam disc is reversible. This handle will go up or down. It doesn't care. It'll go this way, it'll go this way, it doesn't matter. If you're going to play around with the handing, which is certainly no problem, all you're going to need to really change is removing the little C-clip that's there, and don't lose it. The pin will come out. This can be turned over, is the bottom line, so it can act in the opposite direction, is how that would be. And then it'll be the opposite hand. Okay. You only need two ways for it to operate. A left hand is going to be the same as a right hand reverse. Does that make sense? No. A left hand, forgive me, I had to think that through. A left hand will be the same as a left hand reverse when it comes to the action. Whether you're retracting and pulling or retracting and pushing, it'll come back the same way. So you really only need two positions of this cam plug. Now, the links below this video to the important documentation. Let's take a stare at that real fast. See what they come up with. Instructions. That's what we're dealing with. Let's take a look at the installation instructions. And not a lot to do, as you can see there. They're reliant on the fact that you already have the dead latch, the 45, 47, 4900. And you're going to drill and tap a couple of holes. Yes. You have the location, the vertical location of the two screw holes. They have it there at 3-inch. And it appears to be accurate. You're going to have the hole for the cam plug. That's going to be at 1 11/16 roughly from the bottom hole up, roughly. After installing latch in the style, depress the bolt and insert the 4580 cam disc through the 1 1/4 cylinder hole that you've drilled. Be sure that the hub in the cam disc is on the diamond as shown above. It does need to be on its diamond orientation, which this is by default. That is by default. Well, it is when it's in the unlocked position. So you have to... I knew I would be putting that away too early. When it's in the unlocked position, you have a diamond situation, but when you retract it, it turns square. Must be in the diamond position when it's unlocked. Install the handle assembly, inserting the square spindle into the hub of the cam disc. Secure the handle assembly with two number 10 M5 screws. You know, this is an M5 thread, very fine. They're obviously thinking that the wall of the aluminum is sufficient for that to be tapped. I would obviously be running a tap into it. Tighten the set screws for the cylinder plug and install the faceplate. So then secure this through the edge of the lock and then put the armor front or the faceplate onto the edge of the door. And that's it. They don't give you a back set because the back set is tied to the lock. You can have 7/8, 1 1/8, 1.5. I forget all the back sets with Adams Rite, but there are more than one of these back sets that you'll need to look at. Okay, there's a 4569 handle, which is a Euro style, but will give you a return back to the face of the door. We'll bring it back this way. Some people like that. Now, there is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Adams Rite products that we sell, but a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. And that full product catalog, if we were to search there, Control F 4568, that will allow you to cycle through the catalog and get to where you'll find the 4568 ultimately, because it will show up in other sections of the catalog. But when you get to the 4560 series dead latch handles, you'll find all of them. The most common is that 4560. That's the one you see all the time. I very rarely see the 4565. The 68, the 69 are there. The preceding pages will give more dimensional properties of all of that information. There's also a link to a document called Parts Manual. There may be more than one. That is crucial because you can also perform that same find function on the keyboard and find the exploded parts diagrams of all of the items that the manufacturer makes available. Unfortunately, they don't have any exploded parts diagrams for the 4560 series handles, or at least are in that book. Their push-pull paddles, those are definitely listed in here as well. The 4781. Forgive me, we're talking about the push-pull paddles. Yeah, the push-pull paddles are shown. The 4590 is the one I was thinking of. There will be replaceable parts inside of there. So there's either a published parts, there is either a parts diagram of this and it's not published, or there simply isn't one, meaning there's nothing inside of here that's serviceable, even though there actually is. Those springs could be replaced. That's a hallmark of Adams Rite products, that they publish everything that they have available. And the important part about that is you can continue to get useful service out of the significant investment in aluminum storefront hardware. But not only that, if you know Adams Rite, you probably know them for electric strikes, aluminum storefront material, exit devices, a variety of specialty items that frankly only they manufacture. Bottom rail deadbolts, they're not the only people who make them, but they have a great offering of them, and many other items that they are truly unique in terms of manufacturing. If you have any questions on the Adams Rite 4568, you know what, let's back up. We're not done. Back to the product catalog. I meant to tell you how to determine what it is that you need. You can pull up the 4568 in the product catalog, the dead latch handle, and you will find the how to order matrix. Okay, so when it's the Euro style, the 68 or the 69, you'll have 4, 5, 6, 8, or 9. You're going to have the handing of the item, even though it can be reversed if you were to take it apart. You'll want to order it either a -5 or a -6. -5 for a left or left-hand reverse. -6 for a right or a right-hand reverse. Then the door thickness. That's going to be crucial because it's going to need the cam plug. Everything will need to be made along with the spindle to work in conjunction with not only the lock type that you're using it with, a dead latch or the MS 1890, but also the thickness of the door, and then finally the finish. The 130 for aluminum, 313 for dark bronze, 119 for black. Black, dark bronze, aluminum. So that's how you put the part number together. This happens to be, for exercise sake, the 4568-5, which is left or left-hand reverse, 01 for an 1 3/4 to 2 inch thick door, and then a 313, pardon me, a 121 to match a dark bronze 313 type finish. Any questions on the 4568 or any other Adams Rite product, please feel free to reach out to us. And thank you.